the most stimulating morning talk in Kansas City. Mundo on KCMO.
Well, especially this week, we've been making sure we are giving you the latest on what's happening with the Jackson County tax assessments. Looks like property tax bills are going to be going out second week of November. And how high your taxes are, well, who knows at this point. It'll depend on a bunch of different factors. Here, joining us for a few minutes is State Rep at Grain Valley, Jeff Coleman's on the line on 576-7710 KCMO. Jeff, appreciate a few minutes out of you. We've mentioned a couple of events that you have going on this week, 2 town halls, but just give us the rundown on what is going to be happening. One is tonight, and then one is Thursday morning.
Good morning, Pete. Yeah, I appreciate it. The first one is tonight. It starts at 6:30. It'll be at the Grain Valley Community Center. It'll last from 6:30 till 8, and it's a regular town hall meeting. What the main topic will be the property tax issues. So we'll be talking about the issues from the public, and I'll be bringing all the information that I've learned from our public hearings.
So, and then you've got another one on Thursday morning at 10, and just so I understand this correctly, Jeff, and so people do understand this correctly, it is a first-come, first-served basis, right? And it's only about 50 people you can fit.
Tonight we can fit more.
Okay.
So we can fit probably about 100 people tonight. On Thursday, the capacity is about 50, and it is a first-come, first-served, so...
All right, so you're also on the state board, right, Jeff, where you're kind of digging into what may have gone wrong here in Jackson County. What have you been able to assess from that?
Well, we've had multiple hearings across the state. We started in Jackson County. A little disappointing that the Jackson County folks did not show up to that hearing. But what we found out is that Jackson County is broken. Right now, it's a mess. There is no rhyme or reason as to the assessments that they came up with, and we're trying to do something about that, but it doesn't look like we're going to be able to do that before the end of the year. So
okay, so that's still going to take a little bit of time. So then as you look ahead here with this issue, I mean, people that are going to be getting property tax bills in November, it looks like then they can kind of set up a payment plan through the end of the year, but then there's going to be fees basically put on top of that if you haven't paid up. So there's a lot of people, Jeff, that are on fixed incomes or lower income folks who could be drastically affected by this.
That is the problem. And as we look forward, one of the things that I'm sure the legislature will be addressing at the beginning of the next session will be this issue. I know that I will be submitting my own legislation that I think will work really well. We'll have to wait to see how much support we get for it when we get down to session and we get both sides in place. But we'll talk about that this evening and on Thursday as to what direction I think we should go. But I think it's really dependent upon what our folks out there, what the residents and our constituents want from us. Mm-hmm. So this situation is going to be tough for the end of this year because the expectation from all the counties, including Jackson County, is that you pay your taxes. But with the appeals that are going on, if the appeals are won, then they will refund those funds.
Gotcha.
We're going to try to make it a lot easier for you, though, as we get into session.
So Jeff, I mean, who's going to ultimately pay a price for what has gone on here? I mean, is it all the way up to Frank White? Is there someone in between in the tax assessment department? I mean, it stinks to high heaven.
See, what I'm learning is that the assessor Beatty is kind of going down the road as to what Frank is telling her. So I think Frank is ultimately the one who is going to pay the price. Assessor Beatty is going to have some issues that she's going to have to address, but she was kind of put into a bad situation with no tools to work with, mm-hmm. a very small budget. So coming into this, she was kind of doomed from the very beginning. But I think that you have to take responsibility and push back, even if your leadership is telling you to go a certain way, when you know that there's a problem. Mm-hmm. And certainly they know that there's a problem here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, State Representative Jeff Coleman joining us here on KCMO. Jeff, thank you so much for the time. You've got the town hall tonight at the Grain Valley Community Center, 6:30, and then 10 a.m. on Thursday, first come, first serve basis. Appreciate you joining us, and have a good one tonight.
Thank you, Pete. Appreciate the time.
All right, good stuff out of him, informative stuff out of him, and we will continue to make this a big part of our show because I know a lot of you are getting affected by this. So I'm getting emails, tweets at Pete Mundo, texts on our text line, just sharing some of the stories that many of you are dealing with. And we don't want to see that, and we want to know about it. So this way, at least, we can give you a voice here locally to talk about these things. So let us know at 576-7710.